No maid lasted longer than a week in the millionaire's mansion. Every single one left in fear, until one woman, Nain, walked in and did the impossible. What happened inside those walls will shock you, break your heart, and prove that kindness is stronger than cruelty. And trust me, you won't see the ending coming. So watch until the very last second. And if you love emotional, life-changing stories, hit that subscribe button right now because this is one story you'll never forget. Everyone in town whispered about the mansion on Willow Lane. It wasn't just the towering gates, the endless gardens, or the 12-car garage. No, it was the curse. Every maid who walked through those iron gates left within days, shaking hands, pale faces, and mouths sealed with fear. Some lasted 3 days, some quit before lunch, but none stayed. And at the center of it all was Isabel Riker, the new wife of Malcolm Riker, a silver-haired millionaire twice her age. Isabel was stunning, tall, with blonde hair and a wardrobe of crimson dresses that looked more like armor than clothing. To outsiders she was grace and beauty, but inside those walls her smile was venom. She didn't yell, she snapped. She didn't argue, she cut deep with words that bruised more than fists. She didn't throw tantrums, she threw dishes with precision sharp enough to terrify anyone who dared to look her in the eye. But everything changed the morning Nain walked through the mansion gates. The sky was heavy with rain as Nain, wearing a simple brown maid uniform and yellow gloves, stepped inside. She wasn't here for luxury or pride. She was here for her son, Jamal, 8 years old, nonverbal, and needing therapy she couldn't afford. The mansion was quiet, eerily quiet, as if it was holding its breath, waiting to crush another soul. But Nain wasn't like the others. She carried a strength born from pain, the kind that doesn't need to be loud to be unshakable. And as she picked up her mop for the very first time, no one, not even Isabel, knew that this maid wasn't just here to clean. She was here to change everything. If you're ready to see how one woman did the impossible, don't forget to like this video because this story is only getting started. The storm outside had calmed, but inside the mansion, tension crackled like static in the air. Nain's first assignment was simple: clean the living room floors until they shined. She gripped the mop tightly, her worn hands steady from years of work. As she approached, she noticed a bucket of water, already half-tipped near the corner. Instinctively she reached out, but it was too late. The bucket crashed to the ground, spilling water across the polished wood. The sound echoed, followed by heavy footsteps. The staff froze. Then came silence. Nain turned slowly, just in time to see Isabel descending the stairs, her heels clicking like a countdown. Without a word, Isabel reached her and in one swift motion, slapped her across the face. The sting burned, but Nain didn't flinch. Malcolm Riker stood nearby, briefcase in hand, his face flickering between shock and shame, but he stayed silent. Isabel's voice sliced through the air. "Are you that stupid or just lazy?" Nain didn't answer right away. Her cheek throbbed, her eyes watered, but she bent down, picked up the mop, and began cleaning. "I asked you a question," Isabel hissed. Nain didn't look up. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll do better," the staff whispered later that day, astonished. She didn't quit, they said. Isabel had broken every maid before her, but this one didn't break. Nain's silence wasn't weakness. It was strength, a shield forged from battles no one could see. And while Isabel smirked, thinking she'd won, she didn't realize she'd just met the only woman who wouldn't run. If you believe Nain is stronger than Isabel knows, like this video right now, because this fight is only beginning, and you won't want to miss what happens next. By the second day, the mansion was alive with gossip. The staff couldn't believe it. Nain had returned. Most maids never came back after the first slap, but there she was, her brown uniform pressed, her yellow gloves snug, her face calm as ever. Isabel didn't waste time. If Nain wasn't going to quit easily, she would push her harder. "You missed a spot," Isabel snapped, pointing at a perfectly polished table. Nain simply nodded and wiped it again. Isabel accidentally burned Nain's uniform with a curling iron left on the laundry table. She hid cleaning supplies. She spilled a glass of expensive red wine on the carpet just to watch her squirm. But Nain didn't squirm. She cleaned. Every single time without complaint. And every time Isabel called her a walking pity project, Nain answered with a soft, steady voice, "I hope your day gets better, ma'am." Those words disarmed Isabel more than any argument could have. The staff started to watch Nain differently. "She doesn't fight back," the butler whispered in awe. "She just stays." It wasn't weakness. It was something else, something none of them understood yet. That night, as Nain rode the bus home, she thought of Jamal. His quiet eyes. His little hands clutching his toy trucks. "2 more weeks," she whispered, "then we can start your therapy." She smiled not because the mansion was kind but because she was unbreakable. And soon everyone would know it. If you believe Nane's patience is her greatest weapon, like this video, because what's coming next will leave even Isabel speechless. Days passed and Nane's quiet strength became the mansion's unspoken mystery. Isabel escalated her cruelty, determined to break her. One evening, while Nane polished the grand staircase, Isabel deliberately dropped a vase. It shattered, shards scattering like tiny knives. "Clean it," Isabel said coldly, her lips curling into a cruel smile. Without a word, Nane knelt and picked up each piece with bare hands, careful not to cut herself. Isabel stared, waiting for anger, fear, anything. But Nane only replied, "I'll take care of it, ma'am." For the first time, Isabel didn't know what to say. The staff noticed it too. "She's different," the housekeeper whispered. Malcolm Riker, standing quietly in the hall, lingered a little longer than usual, watching this strange battle of wills. That night, Isabel stood before her mirror in silence. Her reflection stared back at her, flawless but empty. No maid had ever lasted this long. Why wasn't this one afraid? The next morning, Nane left a fresh towel outside Isabel's door, no words attached, just quiet consideration. Isabel hesitated, staring at the towel for a long moment before shutting the door. She didn't say thank you. Not yet. But something deep inside her chest shifted, something she didn't understand. Nane didn't need to fight Isabel to win. She only needed to stay. If you believe even the coldest heart can change, like this video now, because the cracks in Isabel's armor are only beginning to show. The mansion was quieter than usual. No shouting, no slamming doors, just silence. It wasn't peace but it wasn't war either. Nane moved through the halls with her usual calm, her presence steady, almost comforting. Isabel watched her sometimes without meaning to. She would see Nane folding laundry, arranging flowers, or mopping the floor with the same quiet determination that never seemed to falter. And for reasons Isabel couldn't explain, it unnerved her more than defiance ever could. One afternoon, Nane noticed a pair of Isabel's shoes tossed carelessly near the bed. Instead of ignoring them, she placed them neatly by the wall and left a small note. "Your favorite pair squeaks a little. I can take them to a cobbler if you'd like." Isabel stared at the note for a long time. She didn't crumple it, didn't mock it. She simply placed it in her vanity drawer. That night, Isabel didn't throw anything. She didn't yell. She didn't even speak. She sat at her mirror, looking at her own tired reflection, and for the first time, wondered if she wasn't angry at Nane at all. Maybe she was angry at herself. Downstairs, Nane brewed tea for herself in the kitchen. The staff watched her with quiet respect now, not pity. "She's changing the house," the butler murmured. "Or maybe," the housekeeper replied, "she's changing her." If you believe Nane's kindness is stronger than Isabel's cruelty, like this video, because the mansion on Willow Lane is about to see a change no one thought possible. It happened on a Thursday. Nane had just finished mopping the east wing when she heard it, crying. Not soft, hidden tears, but raw, uncontrolled sobs echoing down the hallway. She followed the sound to the music room. Cautiously, she pushed open the door and froze. Isabel was on the floor, her perfect posture gone, her arms wrapped around her knees. Her makeup was smeared, her hair undone, and her hands trembled as if the weight of the world had finally crushed her. Nane stood still for a moment. "Ma'am," she said softly. Isabel didn't look up. "Go away." But Nane didn't leave. Instead, she walked in quietly and sat a few feet away, not touching, not speaking, simply staying. The silence stretched until Isabel's voice cracked. "They said I'd never be enough for him. That I was just a young wife to make him feel powerful." Nane didn't move. Isabel's tears fell faster. "I thought if I could control the house, I could control the fear. But every night I look in the mirror and I see her, the girl they warned me about. Angry. Lost." Slowly she turned to Nane, eyes swollen and desperate. "And you? You just keep showing up. Why?" Nane's voice was calm, steady. "Because you needed someone who wouldn't leave." Isabel stared at her, trembling. "Why?" Nane's lips curved in the faintest, kindest smile. "Because I've been the woman no one stayed for." And for the first time, Isabel didn't have an answer. If you believe one act of kindness can change a life like this video, because Isabel's walls are starting to crumble and Nane is the reason why. The next morning the mansion felt different. The air was lighter, as though a storm had passed. The staff expected Isabel's usual sharp commands, but instead they found her in the kitchen, barefoot, in a robe, her hair pulled back with no trace of makeup. And what stunned them most was what she did next. Isabel poured a cup of coffee and placed it in front of Nane. "I don't know how to say thank you," she said quietly, almost awkwardly, "for not walking away." The room went silent. The staff exchanged looks, unsure if they were dreaming. Nain's hand trembled just slightly as she accepted the cup. "You just did," she replied, her voice soft but steady. Isabel didn't answer. She simply sat across from her, sipping her own coffee in silence. For the first time there were no insults, no mocking smirks, only quiet. Later that day Isabel didn't throw a single command. She passed Nain in the hallway and instead of criticizing she gave a small nod. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make the staff whisper in disbelief. "She's changing," the butler muttered. "Or maybe," Nain thought to herself, "she's healing." That night, Isabel sat alone in her room, staring at the fresh flower Nain had placed on her nightstand. For reasons she couldn't explain, she reached out and touched it. Just for a second. And in that small moment, the mansion on Willow Lane didn't feel so cold anymore. If you believe kindness can thaw even the coldest hearts, like this video, because Isabel's transformation is only just beginning. By Monday, the shift in the mansion was undeniable. Isabel, once the terror of Willow Lane, was quieter. She didn't bark orders at the staff. She didn't throw dishes. Instead, she walked past Nain with an unreadable expression, and for the first time, there was no venom in her gaze. Nain noticed the change but didn't push it. Instead, she kept doing what she'd always done. She placed a warm towel outside Isabel's bathroom door each morning. She brewed lemon water and left it by her bedside. She even polished Isabel's favorite heels and left a tiny note that read, "Ready for tomorrow." Isabel didn't respond, but she didn't ignore it either. The notes stopped ending up in the trash. One by one, they disappeared into her drawer. Downstairs, the staff whispered like schoolchildren watching something impossible unfold. "She said thank you, yesterday," the cook muttered in shock. "To Nain." The butler nearly dropped his tray. "Are you joking?" But no one was joking. Something inside Isabel was changing, piece by piece, like a statue slowly cracking to reveal the person underneath. That night, Malcolm came home early and found his wife sitting in the living room, quiet, calm, staring at the fire. She didn't snap at him. She didn't scowl. She simply asked, "How was your day?" And for a fleeting second, Malcolm looked at her the way he once did when they first met. If you believe Nain's patience is rewriting the story of this mansion, like this video, because what happens next will prove that even the hardest hearts can soften. It was late in the afternoon when Nain heard it again, the sound of quiet sobs. This time it didn't startle her. She followed the sound to the music room, where Isabel sat by the grand piano, her hands trembling on the keys though she didn't play a single note. Her once perfect posture was slouched, her eyes distant. Nain didn't speak at first. She simply stepped into the room and stood there. Isabel glanced at her through tear-glossed eyes. "Why don't you leave?" Her voice was hoarse, almost childlike. Nain moved closer, stopping a few feet away. "Because you don't need another person to walk out on you," she said softly. Isabel's lips trembled. "I was never supposed to be this. I thought if I controlled everything, no one could hurt me." Nain knelt beside her, not touching her but grounding her with presence alone. "Sometimes control is just fear in disguise," Nain whispered. Isabel let out a small, broken laugh, one that quickly turned into a sob. For the first time she didn't order Nain away. Instead she allowed her to stay. The staff passing by outside the door peered in for a second but quickly turned away, stunned. Isabel Riker, the woman who could silence a room with one glare, was crying, and the only person she allowed near her was Nain. In that moment, something unspoken formed between them, a fragile truce born not of fear but of understanding. If you believe compassion is the most powerful weapon of all, like this video, because the bond between Nain and Isabel is only growing stronger, and the mansion will never be the same again. For the first time in years, laughter echoed through the halls of the mansion on Willow Lane. It wasn't polite or restrained, it was real. Malcolm Riker froze in the doorway of the living room, stunned by what he saw. Isabel, the woman who once ruled the house with sharp words and icy silence, was sitting on the carpet beside Nain. And they were laughing. Nain was teaching her how to fold linen napkins into swans, and every time Isabel failed, she laughed harder, wiping tears from her eyes. Malcolm didn't say a word. He simply stood there, watching a moment he never imagined he'd witness. The staff gathered near the hallway, peeking in disbelief. The cook whispered, "Is she smiling?" The butler nodded slowly. "And she looks happy." Nain didn't bask in the attention. She simply smiled softly, folding another napkin and handing it to Isabel, who took it with surprising gentleness. Something in Isabel's face had changed, not completely but enough to be seen. Her edges were softer, her words kinder, and for once she didn't seem like the woman who drove every maid away. Malcolm cleared his throat and Isabel looked up at him. For a moment she didn't glare or scoff. She just smiled, small but real. "Dinner in 10, she said lightly, and Malcolm could barely hide his astonishment. The mansion, once filled with fear, now held something it hadn't in years: hope. If you believe even the darkest places can find light, like this video, because what's coming next will prove that this story is far from over. The following morning, Isabel approached Nain in the hallway, her steps slow, almost hesitant. "Do you have a minute?" she asked softly, so unlike the commanding voice the staff had once feared. Nain nodded. Isabel led her to the guest suite, where a file sat neatly on the table. "This," Isabel said, her voice trembling just slightly, "is a scholarship fund I started this morning for children with developmental disabilities." Nain froze. Her heart pounded. "For Jamal?" Isabel nodded. "For him. And for others like him." Nain's hands shook as she opened the file, scanning the documents. Tears filled her eyes, but she blinked them back. I don't deserve this," Nain whispered, her voice cracking. Isabel reached out and gently placed a hand over hers. "Maybe you don't," she said with a small teasing smile, "but maybe I do. Maybe this is how I make it right." For the first time, Nain saw not the cold, untouchable wife of a millionaire but a woman who was learning how to heal. In that quiet moment, the mansion felt warmer than it ever had before. The staff, peeking from the hallway, watched in stunned silence. Isabel Riker, once the woman who tore everyone down, was now building something good. Nain's voice trembled as she whispered, "Thank you." Isabel's smile was soft but steady. "Don't thank me yet. This is only the beginning. If you believe one act of kindness can change not just one life but many, like this video, because Isabel and Nain's story is leading to something even greater." The announcement came that afternoon. The housekeeper gathered the staff in the grand dining hall, her hands trembling as she held up a piece of paper. "Nain," she said, her voice full of pride, "has been promoted to head of household." For a second the room was silent. Then applause erupted. Even Malcolm clapped, smiling in a way no one had seen in years. Isabel stood beside Nain, her posture no longer sharp but steady and proud. "You earned this," Isabel said quietly, and for the first time, the words carried no hidden edge, only respect. Nain's throat tightened, but she didn't cry. Not yet. She simply nodded and whispered, "Thank you." That evening, Nain returned home to her small apartment, exhausted but lighter than she'd ever felt. When she opened the door, Jamal ran to her, his tiny arms wrapping around her waist. She knelt down, holding him close, and for the first time in a long time, tears slipped down her cheeks. "They see me now, baby," she whispered softly, kissing his forehead. "And one day, they'll see you too." In the mansion on Willow Lane, things were no longer the same. Isabel still wore her crimson dresses, but now they were paired with softer words and quiet gratitude. Malcolm still kept his distance sometimes, but his smiles came easier. And Nain? She wasn't just the maid who stayed. She was the heart of the home. What no other maid could survive, Nain transformed with patience, compassion, and the one thing Isabel never thought she needed: someone who refused to give up on her. If you believe in the power of staying when it matters most, like this video, because Nain's story isn't just about cleaning a mansion. It's about mending broken people, one act of quiet kindness at a time.